If speaking kindly to plants help them grow, imagine what speaking kindly to humans can do. And I want to add on to that is imagine what speaking kindly to yourself would do to your growth. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Mini and welcome back to another episode of Self-Care Sunday, where we talk about practical self-care tips to help you show up for yourself more sustainably. So today I am going to talk about a subject that I've always mention about in each episode. I don't know if you have noticed this, but I feel like this topic should be a video alone because it's so important, and I really strongly believe that this is the foundation of how you can show up more effectively, consistently, and more sustainably. So I know that a lot of you guys want to learn more about mid-year audit, how to stop procrastinating, and then tips on waking up early, which I have been talking quite a bit on my Instagram. But today's video is going to act like a foundation to all of the videos that I am going to post for the rest of June and July. That is why I really want to get this out of the way so that you get to understand and start practicing some of these habits, I would say. So during this time, I know there's a lot happening, and there is just 2020 itself is such a transformative year. There is so much going on, and I believe a lot of us are still trying to find out how we can kind of adjust to the changes while still being productive and still showing up consistently, still practicing new habits. So a lot is going on, and I have a lot of conversation with you guys. So thank you so much for always dropping me a DM and starting a conversation with me. I am always really grateful for that. So a lot of you have quite similar goals, I would say. I think all of us want to be productive, we want to be consistent with our habits, we want to show up, we want to be less emotional, we want to be less reactive. So if you have not watched my previous video, go ahead and watch it. I talk about react and respond, what is the difference, what you can do to kind of respond a little bit more effectively. And almost every time I asked you, what are you currently doing to kind of help you with this situation or help you show up a little bit more consistently? And many of you said that you would start motivating yourself by saying like, oh, stop feeling this way, do it. And then you would start telling yourself to get your ass off of get your lazy ass off and start doing the things that you should be doing. Or even like, you are not doing enough, you should have done more, do more, I know this is not your potential, keep doing, keep going. And some of you even say that you would even punish yourself when you are not productive. For example, not allowing yourself to watch a Netflix series, but you end up still watching a Netflix series, and you start the whole procrastination hamster wheel again and again and again. And a lot of you also express that this is really tiring, and you start to feel like you are not doing enough. The reason why we often do this to motivate ourselves by nagging ourselves, by punishing ourselves, by demanding ourselves to get up and do the work is because we are taught this way. A lot of us, when we are younger, we rely on our parents to motivate us, and when we are lazy and we are feeling a little bit down, our parents would normally start nagging and then start scolding us to make sure that we get our homework done, make sure we get our piano practices done, make sure that we are doing things and helping the household out. And some parents would even punish us for not showing up and not being there to be productive. And as we grow up, this is the only way we know to help ourselves to motivate ourselves to get things done. So right now, as a full-grown adult or grown-up, we are now having the responsibility to take care of our own well-being, our own productivity, and our own consistency. But what we are learning are the behaviors that was taught by our parents, and it is usually external motivation. Right now we are all like figuring out like, how do I do this myself? So the only way we know is the way that we have seen and we have observed and we are taught, which is to nag ourselves, which is to scold at ourselves, which is to punish ourselves when we don't show up. Now, I want you to take this moment to really think about this. When you use that method of like punishing yourself and also demanding yourself to change, how many times it would succeed in, making yourself show up and get things done, and how many times would you be able to do that is a sustainable way, which is like you are able to do it consistently over time. I'll give you a minute. Well, not a minute, that would be too long, but I believe a lot of you are going to say, yes, it does help me to show up, but it is usually like a spike of energy and then it will drop, and then you will start hating yourself, and then you will start feeling really upset about yourself and feeling like, why can't you do this? Why can't you be consistent? And then you will go downhill, and then you start to punish yourself again, and it goes to up a spike of energy, of motivation. And that is why motivation is so dangerous when we rely fully on it, because motivation gives us a spike of energy and then it doesn't sustain. With this spike of energy, it's really tiring and it's really exhausting to keep feeling this way. I want to bring in a little campaign that was usually done to combat school bullying or to boost organization or corporate success and productivity. This campaign is called Word Matters. What they really do is really just bringing up that the way we talk to others really affect how the other person grow and how your organization grow as a whole. How we use our words towards other people really does affect the relationship, and then it does affect the other person's self-worth, self-esteem. And I really want you to take that same approach and apply it on your own. This study done by the Royal Horticultural Society, they actually look at how people talk to plants and how it affects their growth. And surprise, surprise, when we speak kindly to the plant, they actually grow faster than the one that that was not spoken to kindly. And that is amazing. This whole study is really amazing in seeing how the way we speak does affect on the growth, even on plants. And then this quote came by: if speaking kindly to plants help them grow, imagine what speaking kindly to humans can do. And I want to add on to that is, imagine what speaking kindly to yourself would do to your growth. So if you really want to grow, and we really want to grow sustainably, we need to learn how to speak kindly to ourselves over and over and over again. So my favorite way to encourage my clients, my friends, or like people who approach to me asking me for some tips is that imagine that one of your friends comes to you and she's like, you know what, I'm not being productive, I'm really sad, and I'm really like not feeling it, and I'm like low in energy, whatever that you are experiencing right now. What would you tell your friend? Think about that. Now, I want you to say exactly what you say to your friend and say that to yourself. Oftentimes we are quite kind to others but really critical to ourselves. So I want you to really take this time to change that approach and speak kindly to yourself and see how that works. So if you like this video, I think you will probably like some of my other videos that talk a little bit more about speaking kindly to yourself. If you would like a part 2 of this video where I give you some more tangible examples of how you can start speaking kindly to yourself, please hit the like button and subscribe button so I know that you would want more of this. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are all well and take care. Bye!